It's craptastic.
So we had a hailstorm the other day, and let's climb up the ladder and see what the damage is. Well, that thin aluminum is dented all over, not horribly, but you can see the small dents throughout. I'm not worried about that. It's cosmetic damage, no big deal. Problem, however, is this vent cover. Now, this is made from some sort of plastic, and obviously it's completely useless now. I got in the trailer the other day, and water had filled up one of the tires that I have in this trailer, and so this is useless. I'm gonna have to replace this somehow. It's very frustrating to me with plastics and the abundance of the use of plastics in various products. Now, I understand the need for cost savings. I understand value engineering, cost engineering, but what's the point of making something if it's just going to fail? This trailer is about 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old, and we already have catastrophic failure of this part. This is one of the only parts on the exterior of this trailer, at least, that is plastic, and it is the first part to fail. So over the years, I've noticed that plastic on an exterior part, it gets brittle with the sun, and then any small impact, it's going to fracture. So I'll show you what I come up with for a fix for this, but here's a engineering fail. This thing was made to be outside all day long. This thing was made to be the vent cover, and it's one job it had to do. It failed miserably. Now, if I was the company who produced this, that's kind of embarrassing. This wasn't even that bad of a hailstorm. It was probably the worst we've had around here in maybe 5 to 10 years. But we've all seen steel cars and trucks where the body is pitted a lot more heavily than that. And this is just thin gauge aluminum. So if you can have hailstorms that dent thicker gauge steel on the exterior of vehicles, imagine what that would have done to this. So engineering fail, product fail, just one more application where plastics absolutely suck and shouldn't even be considered. Now, how much more would this have costed to stamp out a steel? You know, maybe 16, 18 gauge steel. You stamp that shape out. Would it really have cost that much more money? I don't think it would have. For all the effort that went into building the steel frame and the mechanism to open it, and the installation, and yet the most important part that keeps out the rain and the weather is made with this inferior material. Just a poor application. So let me show you what I come up with for a fix. So here we have my solution to the crappy plastic vent cover. I went ahead and built this one. I looked for cookie sheets that would be this size that I could just order and then modify with some brackets to fit over this, but I couldn't find any that would work, so I looked at the metal that I had around the shop, and I had this aluminum. This is 090 wall aluminum sheet, and what I did was I got a brake and I broke these edges at 45s, and then I also welded a 90-degree back on it, and I had to weld these little triangle pieces in, and then I painted it with a good white Rust-Oleum paint, and it turned out quite nice. So this is a permanent fix for a crappy factory cheap out. You know, it's frustrating when you buy something and a couple years later it just completely goes to crap and you have to rebuild what you paid new for something. But this should last the life of the trailer. And now I'll jump on down and show you the underside. Here we are on the underside. Here it is closed. Seals decently, good enough for what I want. Nothing's gonna leak in because we've got those lips around the perimeter, and the sheet is actually several inches larger on all the sides. And I just happened to do it out of aluminum because that's what I had. You could do this out of steel as well. Benefit of aluminum is obviously it's not gonna corrode as easily in these elements, and it's lighter, so lifts up quite nice. I'd have to say I'm pretty pleased with this. So why am I showing you this? The reason I'm showing you this is not because you all have trailers with crappy plastic hoods on them that are going to break from hail or a big windstorm, but it's because I want to convey the point that it's so important to have these life skills. My metalworking abilities, the ability to weld, the ability to create and build my own things, and a do-it-yourself mentality is something that's helped me in life more than anything else, more than any of my education in school, more than what I do for a career. Being able to do things like this saves me a ton of money, and it gives you a peace of mind that you can make things work. You're not going to be succumb to having to go out and buy everything in life. You can create, you can build, you can take raw resources and make something nicer than you probably can even find to buy. So I hope you like this. I'll continue doing videos like this, show you little projects, show you big projects. If you guys have comments, questions, suggestions, please leave them below. Thanks.